I've been traveling over the last number of days, which explains the lack of professional content, but if you know me, I'm still consuming it. And so I didn't really intend to post anything because I'm trying to spend time with family, and also there's like a real lack of decent lighting as well as internet where I'm at. But since I pay attention, there's been things that's really been catching my eye. One thing that I've been seeing a lot of, and it's not just today, this is something that's been a hot button topic for quite some time now, is migration. And what does that mean to everybody? What are the different forms migration can take on? At what point do you consider yourself to have migrated? So I think like just me making this video is nothing more than simply acknowledging the topic and flinging the door wide open to probably at least 20 more topics I can think of off the top of my head. So I think what I'll do is share my experience with migration, both in and out of Trinidad and Tobago, Canada and the United States, and I'll talk about it from a personal as well as professional standpoint. But I would like to touch on something that I actually read this morning. So Mr. Yellow himself, Jared Best Mitchell, always dropping truth bombs, always dropping not even nuggets of wisdom. He just like hands you the platter and says, here you go. This is one of the most valuable things that you could know. So I always learn a lot from you, Jared, and thank you for bringing this topic up, because what you said was, if you're being told when you migrate to take the first opportunity that comes your way, essentially selling yourself short, that's the wrong thing to do. And you know what? I agree with you. I am such a champion of people from Trinidad and Tobago, our highly skilled, our highly educated, talented people. There are so many of us out there who are progressive minded, regardless of the circumstances of our environment and the challenges we have with resourcing, etc. We are an incredible group of people. So I've been living in Canada for long enough to see those tangible examples of when you migrate and you take the first thing that comes your way. So nobody is discounting the fact that, yes, you need to put food on your table. You need to put a roof over your head. It may require you to make adjustments along the way, but I agree with Jared when he says that you cannot sell yourself short. There are opportunities out there. So I think probably what people may be doing is migrating before it's time. Yes, as well, there's also immigration considerations, because when those papers are handed to you and they come knocking, that opportunity knocks on your door and says, you must come. Perhaps your point of readiness for where you would really like to be is not quite there. But I would encourage you to really do your research. And doing your research doesn't necessarily mean just talking to people who only live or who already live wherever you're going. I would say formulate your experience before you even leave the shores, your current shores, to touch down on another. Over the last number of years, I have been migrating back to Trinidad and Tobago. But am I there full time? Absolutely not. My migration story is different. I work in Trinidad and Tobago, but you don't necessarily physically need to be there. So my experience has taken on a different face. And I represent a community who have been away and who have, the same or similar experience as me, who you're looking for opportunities to go back. And go back meaning give back to your community and to diversify your opportunities. Take advantage of the potential that exists in the Caribbean. So that's the other thing about migration. is you're selling yourself short if you're leaving and thinking that nothing exists for you where you came from. There's absolutely an opportunity still waiting for you. Now, I'm not saying that leaving where you are and setting yourself up to come back is what's going to happen. But I just think that people close the door, so to speak, on where they've come from a bit too early, and they leave themselves boxed in. It is so very difficult to live away, and I'm very much stating the obvious here. You go to a place like Canada and the United States that is built on the backs of not only the Indigenous peoples, but those who have migrated. And their lives have taken on very, very different turns. I'll use my own parents as example. They sacrificed everything. They sacrificed everything so that I could sit in front of you right now and talk about my own migration story. How their blood, sweat, and tears helped prop me up for my journey into different shores. So we'll get more into this. We'll get more into this, particularly from a procurement perspective, because now I have my own journey that I can speak about. I can talk about opportunities, and I'm more than willing to help people who do want to come to Canada and work in supply chain. But I would just encourage you to keep an open mind, never sell yourself short. In fact, this is where you need to shine more than ever. You need to show everybody, every aspect that you have that makes you who you are, and particularly from a professional standpoint. But also don't discount where you came from, because the thing about it is we come from a very, very special part of the world, the Caribbean, and it's not as small as you think it is. So, like I said, I'll be back. I'm a little challenged with giving you, all of the things that I want to say right now due to the internet. But we'll be back to talk about how you can make yourself the best possible procurement candidate if you decide to migrate to Canada.